Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Imagine Acre Wood. I'm out here doing my morning walk as usual, and I've got Leia, mama dog, running around in the woods. And she's got her cone off, guys, so she's doing good. She's weaned puppies. Actually, our first puppy left yesterday, so that was kind of bittersweet. Yeah, well, I think it was yesterday. So yeah, but found a really good home, so that's good. And Leia, our mama dog, is happy to be able to run around kind of like her old self now. But anyways, today, guys, what I'm doing out here on the easement road is today we're going to take a tour of the Imagine Acre Wood. So I hope you'll stick around with me today. Hey Howard, hey Daisy. What are you guys doing, huh? Hi there. What are you doing? What are you doing there, Howard? What are you doing, Daisy? Come on, let's go this way, come on. For some reason I feel like I'm being followed. So those that don't know, this is Howard and Daisy. And Howard and Daisy are my geese that I raised from goslings, I guess they are. I don't know. But they are very friendly geese. They're very good with kids, very good with me. They actually imprinted on me. Lots of times they'll follow me all the way to the edge of the driveway as I leave in the truck. They don't ever want me leaving in the truck. They're good geese. We've got them out here free ranging now because we found they were being a little bit aggressive with the chicken flock, and our eggs are very important to us, so we don't want our chickens being stressed out. So this is our chicken run, and I created this chicken run. This was the first thing that I built when we got here. It's just some stock panels folded over to make kind of like a hoop house structure, and I just put it up here, and I've cut a hole into the shed. Now this shed is divided, so it's divided right there about where that egg sign is, and it's cut over, and that's the chicken coop, guys. So the chickens can go in there and roost at night, and then during the day they're free to have this run out here. I do intend to expand this run out onto the other side and have like a double hoop house type of thing there, but that'll be another project for spring as well. This year I just wanted to get this in as nice and quickly as possible, so that way we could have our flock protected. We have lots of predators out here, so this is what they have. It's an alright size for the size flock we have. We have 10 chickens, so So some of you might be wondering why I'm loading hauling hay with just a pitchfork today, and my gorilla cart's out of commission. So there's like a tube that a screw goes into that holds a pivot. It's basically a pivot point on the bottom of the thing, and it just broke, sheared it right off the frame. So I think what I'm gonna do is just drill right through the frame and send a screw through there. So I haven't had a chance to fix it, so I'll do that. That'll be a weekend project, but for today, hauling with the fork. All right, guys, that's it for their morning feeding. We do that twice a day. We get them fed up, yeah, so you can see they're getting fat and happy. Even our females down there that had calves this year, they're starting to fatten back up. Our young ones are growing pretty well here since we got them earlier in the year. Their height's about where they're gonna get for height wise, and now they should start fattening up a little bit. So So this, guys, is where I store my hay. I apologize, I've got the blower over here kind of in the way and the lawnmower. I'm trying to find a place to store those for right now. So they're kind of all over the place. But this is where I store my hay, guys. It's just some stock panels, 4 stock panels with one of these Shelter Logic shelters over the top of it. So that's where we're going to store hay through this year until we get the barn out. And when we have the barn out, this will eventually likely be it'll likely go into the pasture over here, and that's eventually going to be our bottle baby raising area. And so it will be a shelter for hopefully milking cows and things of that nature in that area. So that it's going to be a long process, but that's the future hope, is to move this out into the yak pasture, and this yak pasture will become a nursing area. We're hopefully going to have 2 milking cows in there, and then we'll raise bottle babies in there as well. So temporary right now for the hay until we get our barn built. This is our trailer that we picked up for a really good deal. And it comes in handy for hauling hogs, things of that nature, things that are shorter and will stay in there. I don't know that I would haul a horse in it, but the guy used to haul a single horse in there. So see, it's got this cool little mural on the back here, but that's our little single horse trailer that we sometimes haul our smaller stock in. We've hauled pigs in it. Haven't hauled anything actually besides pigs, but it's great for hauling pigs. This, guys, is my Ford 8N tractor. It's a, I believe it's a 1948 Ford 8N. And that's my little workhorse around here. It helps me haul timber out. We'll be pushing some snow around with the blade this winter, and overall just use it for a little workhorse. So been a good tractor for us out here. I cut my original trail down through the woods here with it, connected my 2 gates, and it continues down there. You can see all that was timber when I moved in here, when we moved in here last year. And well, actually it was the beginning of this year. In February we moved in. We closed the end of last year, but we didn't move in until February. And I cleared all the pasture here. We can go down and take a look over there. Some of you guys might notice I'm making progress on my junk pile here. Part of it was a burn pile, so we burned that. Part of it has been from the old water container structure that we used to have on the side that was removed. And so a lot of that is just old junk that needs to go to the local dump. So we're still working on that, but we're getting there. We'll have that done, finished hopefully probably this week. Now, guys, this pasture, like I said, this was all timber, and it was small polewood timber, grow back timber. And so we cleared all this out. At the last, you can kind of almost make out the pile down there at the bottom of the pasture. So there's a big slash pile there that I got to get rid of. That's going to be the next thing for down there. But we're going to expand in the spring. So this winter, I like to take down a bunch of timber in winter. I felt like last year it was easier, or this year it was easier taking down the timber in the winter than dealing with the mosquitoes in the spring and doing it. So that's what we're going to plan to do again this year. We'll, you know, through January and February, we'll take out the rest of the timber that we need to take out down in that area, get it all stacked up, and then we can make progress towards getting the yaks into a bigger pasture down there in spring, and converting this pasture into a nursing pasture where we have some milking cows and an area to raise bottle babies. This will also be our area where we can bring the herd up and get them separated and isolated to get them onto our other stock trailer. So over here where the goats are, our goat pen is actually temporary. We're not going to have that forever. This is our 2-horse trailer, which we use as a stock trailer. This is actually the trailer that me and Chad from North Country Off Grid hauled a yak and a Highland cow in. So it worked out really well for that, and it's working out well. What I've got here is the goat pen. Now this goat pen eventually is going to be converted into a section where we're going to be able to herd animals into, and we'll be able to get them into here and into a small section in here. I'm actually going to put a set of posts here and here to be able to back the trailer right up into, and there'll be a section here that'll extend out, and we'll be able to get stock loaded on our yaks or future cows. We'll be able to get loaded right up here onto the trailer and then take them out of the Imagine Acre Wood when they need to. So right now, the way they are now, we could get them into halters and leads, and that would be the way we'd have to kind of do it. We'd want to basically what I'd do is I'd take some stock panels in and I'd section it off, get them into a smaller area, and then get them on leads. So it'll definitely be easier to be able to herd, especially when we plan to have kind of two operations with the yaks here. We're gonna have a larger herd down in the valley down there. That's gonna just be a meat and wool herd, just growing a herd for those purposes. Now up here we'll have a second smaller herd of 3 or 4, hopefully bottle babies that will raise up, that will be pack yaks, and then also some dairy cows we plan to have in here. So that's the future, hopefully, for the Imagine Acre Wood. Right now I've got this backed up here, just temporary. I am this week going to plan to extend this out, get it connected to here, and then actually what we're going to do is just keep these doors open and let the goats have access to this as well with deep hay for the winter, so they can have this for the day. You know, and be able to be out in the pen during the day, and then at night they can come into here and be in the trailer here. So this here is my truck, guys. It's a 94 F250, and this is how we haul water. It's a 400-gallon tank, and we do haul water from town, guys, right now. We're entirely off-grid. We don't have a well out here yet. We do hope to have a well next year. But currently no well. So this is how we haul water from town. We go into town and fill her up and bring it up the hill here, and then what we do is we transfer it into our main holding tank with this Honda gas-powered, what model is this? I forget what it's called. It's a pretty good little pump though. It's a WX10T is what it is, and it's just got 1-inch hookups. And so I just come out 1 inch from the tank to the pump, and then I actually have an adapter here that takes it from 1 inch down to what is it, 3/4 on the hose, and it goes up to our main stock tank. So this thing gets used all the time out here. It gets used every day actually, because when I'm done transferring from here, this goes up to the main tank, and that's how I transfer water to all the animals. So I run it from the main tank down here through the pump, through the hoses, and I can get the goats and the yaks and the chickens water. For the pigs, I actually have a stock tank up at the pigs that I keep filled as much as I can, but with hauling it, sometimes that goes empty, and then what I do is I end up hauling it with little 7-gallon containers. So yeah, so that's how we manage the water out here. Again, so you can see a little bit better, I've got my posts here, and the posts are going to go right here where I can just back the trailer or stock trailers, whatever I want to back up right here, put it up right against the post, get the doors open, and I'll be able to move stock from here into here and get them funneled down into there eventually. But right now it's a goat pen. So the goats were here to clear out that area for me, and then in the spring we'll modify it to our needs for getting stock out of the bottle baby raising pen. So, and the goats will be moved. They'll move actually down the hill. So, kind of where the yaks are going, they'll have another place down there, and the pigs will actually be moving down there as well. This structure was existing along with the cabin. It was just my understanding is it was brought up here like this. It was an old camp camp cabin. So it was at a camp that's north of here. I can't remember the name, but it's a camp where I guess in the 80s it was owned by Barbara Walters. Wasn't she on The View? I think she was on The View. I don't remember. I never watched much of that kind of TV. She was on The View, and then she also did, I know she was like a newscaster, like a highly regarded newscaster, I think, in the 80s. But she owned it, and it was for rehab or something like that. So anyways, when they got a bunch of new cabins, that came with us, or not with us, that came with the with one of the previous owners up the mountain, because I guess he worked there as a counselor. So got put here, kind of cool history of that. But it came with the cabin. Here's the hogs. You can see they still got water. Didn't freeze last night. We're not too frozen. But the pigs are doing good. You got that one in there sleeping, doesn't want to come out. So they've got deep hay right now. Oh, here it comes. So you can see that little runt we've gotten fattened up, guys, a little bit here. That's him right there. Still not as fat as old Gregor over there. Gregor. Yes, I see you, little girl. We've got the IPP and Kune piglets in here mixed. And you can see this is our pig area, guys. We keep our sows, our piglets, all that good stuff here. Ooh, that one's got a little wound, got bit up by one of the piglets. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I have to get that piglet out and make sure that that's doesn't need any stitches. But we've got this area here is eventually going to be our barn area. So these pigs will, once they've got it cleared out, I've got a bunch of timber down there that we're moving through. As they clear this out and I move them up there in the spring, hopefully summer project is to get a little barn put in over here on this section. So that'll be the future here. But right now it is pig pasture. Or not really pasture, I guess, pig pens in the woods. That's what it is. It's for the pigs. Hey, Croak. Hey, Crocus. That's Crocus. He's our good mouser. He's our good mouser. He likes to go on walks, actually. Don't you, Croak? That's Leia, our mama dog. She's weaned puppies totally now, and she's doing good. You see her cone is off. So she's doing great. So the cabin's up there, guys. It's up there. We're on the easement road, and you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's just a GoPro, but up there, guys, is where the cabin is. So I know it's hard for me to point with carrying the camera, but you can see I've got a bunch of timber down here, guys. This is where I'm actually cutting in. This is where I finish cutting in the road. And I've got a big cottonwood down here. Got a bunch of timber down. Got some split, got some over here. So all of this will be some major cleanup in the spring. I don't think I'm gonna have time to get to the cleanup in here this fall and continue cutting in this road with the tractor, but so that'll be a spring project. Hey, girl. Good girl. Let's go up this way. So you guys can see the back of the yak pasture there, or the yak pen. And so all of this in the future will be yak pasture for the main herd that we have, for the large herd. So that's the plan. You can see I've got a big slash pile here. I've still got a bunch of timber down on the hillside. This is all basically pole wood over this way, but that's going to be the yak pasture is going to go that way as well. So basically what I want to have is 3 or 4 paddocks where I can move the yaks around through the year and try and develop the grass a little bit out here. In this section, we'll see how it goes, and then leave it kind of raw timber all the way in the surrounding acreage. So that's the plan. I don't know if I plan on staying with the goats and the pigs long term, like as in multiple years down the line. The goal has always been here to try and specialize primarily in the yak herd, and that's going to be what we're shooting for in the future. We want to make yaks our life and develop with them and learn with them out here, and hopefully progress to the point where that's primarily what we specialize in, is the yaks. So yeah, that's their pin for this year. So this here is our main cistern, guys. It's a 1,500 gallon. We are going to add to this. This positioning is actually temporary because we actually had a builder that was going to build kind of like a barn structure on the side of the cabin over here this year, but that kind of the builder fell through on us. So this is what we're going to make do with. We have a 1,500 gallon storage tank here, and that's what we actually harvest rainwater when it does rain, and we haul from town and we fill up this main cistern. In the future, hopefully we'll have the well dug and we'll be able to fill the main cistern from the well. So this side of the cabin is a little bit more finished than the other side, so I'm going to show you this side of the cabin. We're still working on finishing the siding on the back side and that sort of thing, but here we've got this back side of the cabin here kind of done. So we've got gutters up. Back there is where we're going to store our firewood for winter, on the back side of the cabin, and out here we have kind of a garden area. And one of the previous owner did some cool stone work out here. I know it's a little overgrown with weeds right now, but did this really cool stone wall kind of structure here around here, and the girls have their basket out here. So this is going to be a nice little garden area for us, guys. We've got our fire pit out here. Out here we've planted some fruit trees that we hope will produce in the future. They all made it all the way. They're doing well, actually. For us, we kept them watered by using the cistern and again the pump. I'd really recommend that Honda pump to any off-gridder, guys. I probably use that, and my chainsaw are the two tools that, like, I don't think I could live out here without, really. Everything else I could do without, but the chainsaw and the as far as gas powered, the chainsaw and the pump are just, they're amazing tools for us out here. But this is our orchard, guys. We did have, I'm a little worried about this apple tree here. So we went the whole year, guys, without getting any, because this was one of the first things that we put in when we got out here, were these fruit trees. We went the whole year without any deer problems. The dogs kept them away pretty good. But then when we got to right here, just a week ago, you see a deer came up, and I woke up in the morning and I saw the deer out here, and I let the dogs out to chase it off, but it had gotten this apple tree, and not the whole circumference it didn't get, luckily. There's still a vein here, so I'm hoping it'll make it, but I don't know. That's one of the ones I'm worried about. Everything else out here is doing pretty good. We've got a bunch of various fruit trees. We've got some blueberries out here that we planted that did okay. We've got some blackberries. We've got some raspberries. This is the other tree that I'm worried about, which is a pear, and you can see he got it here too. And luckily there is a vein on this side, but I'm a little worried about this this pear as well. So I don't know. Those are the only two that we've got in the whole year. So hopefully the rest of these will continue to establish themselves. We've got nectarine. We've got another pear. We've got apricots. We've got that's another nectarine. We've got plums. We've got apples. I believe that's another What is that? That's an apricot. We've got cherries and peaches, another apple, and then we've got some black walnuts that are planted up over here. So in the future, I hope to have this whole area mulched in with a deep mulch bed with slash from around the property, but I got to get a good chipper first. When I can get a good chipper, then we'll fill this in with a deep litter bed, and we'll have basically some deep mulch around the orchard, so we have to water less, because right now during the summer we had to water quite a bit. We don't get as much rain up here as I really kind of thought we would. At least this year we didn't. It didn't seem like. So I was really surprised with the amount of rain we got. We will get a lot of snow this winter, but so down here, guys, this is again areas where I cleared last winter, and I cleared this whole section here down through this little gully here. This whole like little mountain thing, this little hill here, rock structure, will be in kind of in the inside within the yak pen. You can see the valley that we walked through goes down through there. The little deer path that we walked up, that I started cutting a road through, goes down through there, and it comes down all the way down the ridge here down to the bottom there. So this hill and that hill will actually be within the yak pasture. It'll go down a little bit past that timber and kind of diagonal over that way to a corner over there, and then come back up this way. So we have a lot of irregular terrain, which is one of the reasons I fell in love here with this place, but it's also makes for some challenges with doing certain things. So but I think when it's all said and done, it'll be a very, very beautiful property for us. We've got some areas with some pretty actually high overlooks too, if we can get a little bit more timber cleared for some views as well. Our views would open up in areas like this, but this is where it's at right now. So you can see we've got some high up points over here. Leia, dog, come on. So this is the backside, kind of where I was pointing up. That's the cabin up there type of thing. So we're up on the ridges. Hey, kitties. And the cats just love these rocks. They just catch mice out of here and things all day long. Especially Crocus. He's our best mouser, aren't you, Croak? Come on. All our cats get along too, which is good. I've heard some people have issues with different rescue cats not getting along with each other when you get them out on a property like this, but they all get along really well. So these guys are going inside. So we're moving these inside today, and we'll hopefully bring you a video about that in the future. But this is where we're going to store some of our water through winter to keep room temperature water. So we're going to have a big storage tank inside the house where we're going to store our potable water, and we'll actually transfer from the main tank into these inside, and then we can actually winterize this tank when we're not when we've got two of these. So when these empty out, then we can just fill it from the main tank. Otherwise, we just leave it winterized. We don't have to worry about the outside plumbing freezing, which is all PEX anyway, so it'd be real easy to repair if it did freeze and have an issue. But it's easier to not have it freeze and then have to thaw. So if you can just winterize it, then there's no freezing or thawing issues. As long as the main tank doesn't freeze, then your pipes will always be cleared. And when your tanks are drained in the inside, you can just fill them up with your main tank. That's the theory anyways. We'll see how it goes through winter. So you can see we do have one panel up on top of the cabin, guys, And I apologize, I'm not going to take you inside the cabin today. We've just got too much going on in there. The kids are homeschooling. We've got 10 puppies running around, and it's kind of a disaster in there. I will take you guys on another tour in the future when I've got that a little bit more done, because we are also doing renovations on the inside of the cabin too currently. So, but in the future I'll take you in there. Right now we just have it's actually 3 small, I don't even know how many wattage they are. They're like old RV panels. They don't produce very much for us. Mostly what we do right now is fill our battery bank with the generator, and then run as long with our battery bank as we can until we have to run the generator again. So in the future we look to upgrade those. We do have really nice southern exposure here. So the sun just radiates on this house all day in the winter time. So it does help keep the cabin really warm, which is nice during the day, because we get that solar radiant through the windows there. But it does make for a hot cabin in the summertime as well. So what we want to do is we planted some cherries over here on the in the garden area here. Eventually I'd like to plant maybe another tree over here if I can. The only problem is there's this big boulder here in the yard, but some deciduous trees that will grow some leaves in the summertime and hopefully help shade the cabin in the summertime, and then they'll lose those leaves in the wintertime. We'll get that direct solar from the sun right here that you can see is high in the sky coming down in and heat the cabin. So anyways, guys, that's the end of our tour today. I hope you liked walking around. It was just kind of a little, I guess, update video of what we've got going on here at the Imagine Acre Wood. I promise to bring you guys more in the future, show you guys more updates as we make more progress around here. Eventually it'll start to look more put together. I know everybody's homesteads are kind of a work in progress, but I feel like ours is a little bit more work in progress than others maybe at times. I don't know. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll bring you more in the future. And if you haven't yet, please hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.